So this is the story of three friends who are fed up of their lives and suddenly get stuck in a new city where there is no one. And they need a visa to stay in that city. And they will get that visa at the same price when they play the game of death, in which their life will also be in danger. And if they do not play this game, still they will be killed. So here will Alice be able to get her friends out of this world of death. Today we will see in this story. So in the beginning of the story, Alice is shown to us who was a very good gamer. He had not lost at any game till date, and at the same time he knew a lot about mathematics and cars. Alice used to live with her dad and elder brother. Despite knowing so much, Alice did not do any job. That's why her dad considered her useless. And this was the reason why Alice did not like her home. So now he goes out of his house to meet his friends. Here we are shown his friends, in whom he used to work in a bar. But his boss fires him because his affair was going on with his boss's wife. Then comes his second friend, who was called Chota, whose life was going on doing a corporate job. At the end of the month, his mum used to take a large part of his earnings. So looking at the lives of these three, it seems that all three were very upset with their lives. But when they used to meet each other, they used to forget all their sorrows. One day they think while smoking a cigarette that I wish there was a zombie breakdown so that everyone can start their lives again. Then they start having fun in the middle of the road, due to which a car had an accident. The police were also after them. Then they come to the bathroom of a building and hide. But suddenly all the lights go out, and they could not hear anyone. When they go out and see, there was no one outside. The whole city was deserted, desolate. No animals, no humans. There was no light in the whole city. That outside a building the lights were on. When they go inside, the game area was written there. When they go a little further, the laser light goes on the gate, and there they find a lot of phones. When they pick up the phone, the locks of those phones were open from their faces, in which they will get to know about the rules of the game on these phones. And a timer also starts on the phone. Then a girl comes there, who was already present in this world. She throws the ID card of the little ghost out of the gate. The card was burnt due to the laser light. She explains to all three, if any of you go out of here without playing any game, then you will be killed in the same way. There another college student comes to them. Their game had just started. The name of the first game was Dead or Alive, and the level of this game was 3 of clubs, which is the name of the card of this card. Now they come to a room. There were 2 doors on which Dead or Alive was written. They are told that if they do not open the right door, then they will all be killed. Their friend Chota was recording all this on his phone, because till now all this seemed like a joke to them. Then a gas starts bursting in that room. They had to open any door quickly, otherwise there could have been a fire in their room. The girl who met them here says, "We should open the door of Alive." After hearing this, the college student also opens the door of Alive without thinking, which the poor girl is killed. Then that girl opens the door of Dead. Everyone comes there now. They were all safe. Now everyone started taking this game seriously, because their life could have been lost in this. There were 2 doors in the next room. Here the girl who was with them, she says to Alice, "This time you will have to open the door." But Alice did not have so much courage. Her friend who used to work in the bar, he opens the door, and his luck was so good that he gets the right door. Everyone went inside that room. Now there were 2 more doors ahead. Here too they had to choose the right door. Alice's friend tells him, "You will have to use your brain," because he was a very good gamer. Still Alice remembers that while coming to this building, he saw a map in which there were 7 and they have to open the door inside to escape from here. Everyone now comes to the room inside, where there was the same room in front of them, where it was written Alive again. Alice takes her friend's phone and checks the old recording again. When that college student had opened the Alive door, then he sees there was no door ahead, but he opens the same door before the time is up. In all this, Alice's friend's little foot was injured. He had come out of the game. There was a card of 3 of clubs in front of him. Then he gets a message on all their phones. All of them get a 3-day visa. Because those cards were the cards of 3 of clubs. Now, before moving forward here, let me tell you about some of the gains of their game. So here the cards of the crown are associated with their game. Like if they get a spade card, then the game will be on physical activity. That means they have to use themselves. But if the card is of the club, then the whole team will play the game together. If the card is of the diamond, then the one who uses his brain. And if the card is of the heart, then they have to deceive each other. They still did not understand the visa. The real thing they know. When a man is killed in front of them, a laser light comes and kills that man. It meant that if their visa expires, then they will all be killed. And they can get this visa only when they play the game of death. So now they come to a house and start resting, because Alice's friend got hurt in his foot, and they also had a 3-day visa. Then they see that the radio is working, while all the other electronic devices were off. Then the girl who met them here, she tells about herself, that she has been stuck here for 3 days, and she has also played 2 games. Then they sit here and talk. That suddenly, where can everyone go? Where did they disappear? Here Alice decides that tonight also she will play this game with her friend. And if they find any player in this game who is a doctor, then they will bring him for treatment, because his condition was very bad. They now leave that girl with their friend and go to play both the games. Where they came to the game building, there were 13 more players present. Here we also see a boy with white hair who was standing and charging his device. We also see another girl, UCG, who was a great mountain climber. She was very fond of climbing mountains, but she liked to work alone. Here the name of this game was tag. That means they had to avoid the tagger. Here the level of this game was 5 of spade. Means this game physical activity. That means they had to save their lives from that tagger. They had to find a room in this game in which there is a button. Pressing it will end the game. And the time to play it was 20 minutes. If they do not finish this game, then the whole building will be blasted there. Everyone will be killed. Now everyone starts looking for that door separately. The boy with white hair was also standing on the top building, who was shaking hands with everyone. And suddenly the target comes there, who was wearing a horse mask. Here the game of death had started. He was hitting everyone with bullets without looking at them. Alice looks at him and understands that the mask he was wearing, because of that he could only see in front. He could not see his right and left. Alice tells this to everyone there. Then UCG took help from the pipe, was going to the top floor and checking the door. He finds another player here, whose name was Agony, and he had a strange watch on his hand. Agony was a trained fighter. He tells his partner, "You will distract that target and bring him down, and I will kill him from behind." When he brings him down, Agony does not kill him, but was waiting for his bullets to run out, and kills his partner. Agony is so weird, isn't it? Then he leaves gas on that target and tries to kill him. Meanwhile, Alice also found where there were a lot of bullet marks. Otherwise, if there was nothing there, then the target would not have fired so many bullets at that door. The boy with white hair also understood this. He goes to the same room with Alice, but there they face another target. But here this boy with white hair shocks the target with his device, which we saw getting charged in the beginning. But that target comes to his senses again and attacks Alice him. Came to another room while escaping, where he sees there were 2 buttons, and they had to be pressed together. Alice now calls someone for help. There was UCG. She comes and sees that the target was also reaching and fighting with Alice. Then UCG, with the help of the device of the boy with white hair, shocks another target, after which they both jump and press both the buttons together. But the time was over. but they had completed their task a second earlier. Here when the target removes his mask, then she was a woman. Here we come to know that she was also a player. Her task here was to kill everyone. Alice sees that the woman had a bandage around her neck, which gets blasted after a while. That woman is killed. After this, Alice and her friend both talk on walkie-talkie. They had to find a beach. The boy with white hair gets a piece of paper from the same woman, on which some lines were made. He keeps it with him. Then when they come home and talk, where Alice's friend who used to work in the bar, he tells them about the same message, which he had heard on walkie-talkie. Here the girl who was with the boy, their visa was about to expire, so they had to play the game again and get the visa. Now these four had to play this game, and its name was hide and seek. In this game they had to hide and look for each other. To play this game they are given headphones and glasses. As soon as they wear it, their necks get locked, and the same bandage had come in their necks, which was in that woman's neck, and they were scanning each other's faces. The level of this game was 7 of hearts. Now the meaning of heart is that they have to deceive each other. In this game one person will be a wolf, and he will have to hide from the rest of the players. And whoever recognizes him will become a wolf himself. After 15 minutes of the game, the wolf who will remain as a wolf. Apart from that, everyone else will be killed. That is, only one person will be left in this game. When Alice's younger friend hears that everyone will be killed, he goes crazy and tries to take off his bandage. Alice says, otherwise it will tear. And in the meantime Alice and the younger one contact, meaning they were looking at each other very carefully. Here Alice had become a wolf. Now they all understood that to become a wolf they have to look into each other's eyes. When that girl becomes a wolf, she goes and hides in a garden. She wanted to hide for 15 minutes. No one should find her, so that she will be saved in the game. But Alice's friend finds her. There was a lot of fighting between the two of them. Alice had also come here. He was trying to get rid of them, but he becomes a wolf. Now they surround Alice and start killing her, but the younger friend comes there and tells Alice to run away. The two of them were remembering their old memories, that they had spent such a good time together, and they used to live so lovingly, but now because of this game, they had become enemies of each other. Alice was crying, remembering everything. He looks for his friends, calls them, but no one answers, because everyone now wanted that Alice should play this game. In the last 10 seconds, Alice found the friend outside and tells Alice, and in front of Alice's eyes, her friend's bandage bursts, which killed her. Alice's 3 friends' necks were blown. He cries a lot about the death of his friends. He was very sad. The next day when Yusuke was looking for food for himself, she sees Alice lying on the road. She picked him up and brought him to her house. We see that Yusuke liked to stay alone in the house. When Alice regains consciousness, she tells him, "You helped me in the game. That's why I'm helping you." Yusuke tells him that my dad was a very good mountain climber. He was very fond of climbing mountains. But when he died, the media spread false news that he took his own life. It meant that one day, we will definitely lose our loved ones. But that doesn't mean we should die with them. Death will come only when it is our time. So as long as we are alive, we have to fight. She was encouraging Alice. Alice listens to her and decides that he will find the head of this game and avenge the death of his friends. But now their visa was about to expire. That's why at night, they reach a tunnel in the game area. When they go there, they find 3 players in the bus who had already won 3 games, and they had a very good friendship. But one player's leg was injured. He was not able to walk properly. The name of this game was Distance. And the level of this game is for of club. That means it was a teamwork game. Everyone had to play together. They had to reach their destination 2 hours before. And if they didn't do that, then you know what will happen to them. They had an indicator in their phone which tells them how much distance they have to cover. They try to drive the bus. Then they all run and try to cover the distance. They had to go to the other side of the tunnel, which was a very long way. The player whose leg was injured, he could not run. That's why he tells his friends to go. They didn't want to go. But what could they do? Now they leave him there. When they cover the distance of 6 km, then a black panther came there, who eats one of the 3 players, who they met in the bus. When the panther was eating him, then the other 3 look at the opportunity and run. When they go ahead, Alice sees now there was fuel in the bike, but there was no battery. That's why he decides to take this bike back to the bus, so that he can put the fuel of this bike and the player in the bus, whose leg is injured, should also be saved. Here Yusuke and a player with him finally came, but there were water barriers, in which there was a lot of water, and as soon as the game is over, that water will come in the tunnel. Everyone will die. Water now comes in the tunnel. The player who was with Yusuke, he tries to save him. Alice also came with the bus, where Yusuke extends his hand towards which she had now come in the bus, but their bus drowns in water. When the water goes back, they stand on top of the bus. They see the goal written on the bus, seeing which Alice was worried. He understood that we were seeing 0 distance on the phone. He was sitting in the goal from the beginning. These 3 had won this game. After which Alice and Yusuke were standing under a bridge and talking. Alice tells him about a beach, says we have to find the head of this game. Who knows? There are people at that place who keep looking for the head for a few days. Meanwhile, Yusuke tells Alice the ways of hunting. Their friendship was very good. One day Yusuke and he were keeping an eye on all the players. They see the same strange watch on their hands, which we had seen on the hands of Agony and her companions. They understood that the people who are wearing the watch are a part of a special group who survive after the game. They sit in the car and leave. They were following that car. They reach a place. They see a hotel. They see and think that there is no electricity in the whole city. There is electricity here. In the meantime, someone came took them unconscious. When they come to their senses, there were some people in front of them. There was a man who was called a hater, says I am the king here, and he knew the way to the real world. There were cards of all the kings on the wall. He tells that all the people here are my special people. They win the game and deposit the cards with me. And if any one of you gets all the cards, then only one can go to the real world. He tells them that now you have to play another game, that if you win, you have to deposit that card with me. And if you don't do that, then you know what will happen to you. Elisa and Yusuke had no other way. That's why both agree to the hater. At night when they go to play a game with everyone, they see Agony and the boy with white hair. In this game they had to kill 4 wild animals, in which their big tiger, Agony's team had weapons. That's why they easily kill the animals. On the other side, Yusuke's team is given a task that they have to find a number in the dark building, and they had only 9 matches. Yusuke also gets that number. The real game was with Ellis. Ellis had a boy who was a surgeon from the group of the hater. That's why she was taking Ellis's test. That is he capable or not? That will he be kept in the team of the hater or not? The people who were going to play the game with Ellis, his name was Lightbulb. He was standing under the transformers, and water was filling the tunnel. The level of this game was full of diamonds. That means Alice had to use her brain. There was a bulb in front of her, and there were 3 switches, A, B and C. She had to find out which one will light the bulb. Her real problem was that the door of the bulb will close. She will not know whether the bulb is working or not. There a girl when she checks the stars. She was killed. That Alice uses her brain and completes this task. That means she had to switch from B The surgeon already knew the answer, but she didn't tell anything to Ellis. Now Ellis comes back to the hotel. Ellis is presented in front of the hater because Ellis was also a part of his team. Today the hater's visa was about to end. That's why he tells everyone that tonight he will go to play the game. Agony points his teammates here. Maybe something was going to happen today after the hater leaves. The next morning Ellis and Nuck ask everyone what happens to them in the real world. Someone says, who knows? They get stuck in the next game. Someone says they will be killed by laser light. No one had the right answer. Then Ellis hears the sound of bullets when he goes to see. Their agonies men were putting the hater in the dustbin. A white-haired boy comes here and tells that this is all the drugs of those people who did not follow the rules of this hotel, and I have a plan to get out of here. He says that first of all, we have to steal all the cards of the hater. We can't trust him. That he will send us to the real world. Or not. Ellis also agrees. When he is called for a meeting, he goes there and finds out that the hater is dead. Agony tells that the hater was killed in the game. He was also killed. Agony makes himself the king after his death. When all the players know that Agony is now their new king and the hater is dead, everyone was very upset. Meanwhile, the white-haired boy sends Ellis to Agony's room so that he can steal all the cards from his safe. When he tells Ellis the password, there is a siren. The white-haired boy told the password correctly, but Ellis went to the wrong safe. When Agony's men were killing Ellis, Agony was looking at the deer painting. The white-haired boy understood that the safe is behind that painting. There they call Ellis. Tonight, his visa was also going to end. On the other side, the white-haired boy reached the safe. He steals all the cards and goes out of the hotel with his friend. His friend was feeling bad about Ellis. When he goes out of the hotel, there was a laser light on the hotel. Means tonight the game area was his hotel. And all the people in the hotel had become the players. Then an announcement is announced. Everyone was gathered at one place where they see a girl dead. Someone had killed her with a knife. They get a message on their phone. Everyone has to find this girl's killer, and the name of this game is Witch Hunt. They had 2 hours, and they have to find the killer and burn him outside the hotel. Then the game will end. Everyone was trying to burn his friend in the fire because they felt that the real killer is his friend because she was always with him. But the surgeon girl comes and stops everyone. Agony also came there and tells Agony to kill everyone because the killer is one of them. If the killer is killed, the game will end. Because of this, a commotion is lost in the hotel. Ellis is also found by UC. There the surgeon girl takes out the knife from the dead girl's body and checks the fingerprints on it. The boy with white hair on the roof meets the man of Agony and says, there is someone among us who is related to the game master, and he has given all our information. But after hearing all this, gets very angry. He was going to shoot the boy with white hair. Then he fires him with the reverse flare gun. The surgeon had also come to know who the real killer is before he tells everyone, come and make him unconscious. Agony gathers everyone. Ellis says, you are the real killer. Agony says, yes, I killed that girl. No one had the courage to shoot Agony. Ellis says, no, you didn't kill that girl. You killed Hatter. Agony killed Hatter because Hatter's mind was ruined by being among these people. He was ready to do anything behind this game. But he was a very good friend of his. He never wanted to lose him. So now he felt that everyone is responsible for Hatter's death. He started the massacre in the hotel. Ellis says the game master is still playing the game with us so that he can trap us here. This girl has killed herself. To prove this, the surgeon had also come. There, the friend of the dead girl dealer who has met the game master. Then a laser light comes and kills her mercilessly. Then a man of Agony was coming there and shooting everyone. But Agony takes him into the fire and jumps, and everyone's life was saved. Then the rest of the people put the dead girl's body in the fire, and burn it. The game was over here. The hotel was on fire. Everyone was watching the hotel while leaving. Sometimes we see a boy with white hair. He had a 10 of hearts card. Now he just needed a face card to get out of here. The next day, Alice watches the video in which she tells that she is a game dealer, and she knew the end of every game. She was told to make the game interesting, and the day she told that she is a game dealer, she also sees a base in her video. When she goes there and sees there were a lot of dead bodies lying there was also a boy with white hair who comes and shows her the same paper, which she had got from the same woman's pocket. Who was the target? Actually, it was a map of coming here. Before she could understand anything, all the lights go on. There on the computer screen, she sees a lady from the same group who used to work for the game master. She congratulates her on collecting all the cards. She says that you have reached the next round. If they cross it, they will get the face card. When they come out of the building, they see a banner which had a king's card, and that banner was being rotated all over the city. So which game did you like the most? Tell us in the comment section.